Stoic wisdom, the path to inner peace and resilience. In a world full of chaos, distractions, and endless change, people are increasingly seeking grounding philosophies that offer peace, purpose, and strength. One such philosophy, tested by time and turbulence, is Stoicism. Born in ancient Greece and matured in Rome, Stoicism is not just a school of thought, it's a guide to living well. It teaches us how to master our emotions, face adversity with courage, and find contentment in the present moment. This teaching explores the essence of Stoic wisdom, its fundamental teachings, the legendary figures who shaped it, and how it continues to empower modern minds. Whether you're a lifelong learner or a curious soul looking for clarity, Stoicism offers timeless tools for enduring peace and resilience. What is Stoic wisdom? At its core, Stoicism is a practical philosophy focused on how to live a good life. Rather than dwelling on metaphysical debates or abstract speculation, Stoicism asks, what is within my control, and how should I respond to what is not? It centers on four key virtues. Wisdom, knowing what is good, bad, and indifferent, and acting rightly. Courage, facing fear, pain, and hardship without losing moral integrity. Temperance, exercising self-control and moderation in all things. Justice, treating others fairly, respecting their rights and dignity. Stoic wisdom isn't about suppressing emotions, but about understanding and managing them. It teaches that our thoughts, not external events, determine our happiness. Pain, loss, and failure are inevitable, but suffering is optional. The Stoic strives to live in harmony with nature, which means living in accordance with reason, accepting life's flow, and cultivating inner virtue over outer success. The origins of Stoicism. Stoicism was founded by Zeno of Citium around 300 BCE in Athens. Zeno, originally a wealthy merchant, turned to philosophy after surviving a shipwreck. He began teaching in the Stoa Poikile, or painted porch, from which Stoicism derives its name. Zeno emphasized living in accordance with nature and reason. He built on ideas from earlier philosophers like Socrates, the Cynics, and Heraclitus, synthesizing them into a coherent, ethical system. His successors, including Cleanthes and Chrysippus, further developed the school, focusing on logic, ethics, and metaphysics. But it was in Rome, centuries later, that Stoicism would truly flourish, evolving into a guide for statesmen, slaves, soldiers, and emperors alike. Famous Stoic thinkers. 1. Epictetus. Born a slave in Phrygia, modern-day Turkey, Epictetus rose to become one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. His teachings, recorded by his student Arrian, form the basis of works like the Discourses and the Enchiridion, the handbook. Epictetus taught that while we can't control external events, we can control how we respond. His famous quote sums it up. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. For Epictetus, true freedom lies in disciplining the mind. He saw life as a series of tests and opportunities to practice virtue. Whether you're rich or poor, free or enslaved, you can live with dignity and purpose if you control your judgments and desires. 2. Seneca. A Roman statesman, playwright, and philosopher, Lucius Annaeus Seneca served as advisor to Emperor Nero, a role that ultimately led to his forced suicide. Despite living in political turmoil, Seneca produced profound works on ethics and personal resilience, including letters to Lucilius on the shortness of life and on anger. Seneca's style is eloquent and accessible. He stressed that time is our most valuable possession, and wasting it is the greatest folly. He also explored themes of grief, anger, wealth, and mortality with remarkable psychological insight. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, Seneca wrote, a truth that still rings in our anxiety-ridden age. 3. Marcus Aurelius. Perhaps the most famous Stoic of all, Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor whose reign was marked by war, plague, and personal loss. Yet in the solitude of military camps, he penned one of the most enduring works of Stoic philosophy, Meditations. Written as a personal journal, Meditations is a raw, honest, and deeply human reflection on virtue, duty, and mortality. Marcus wrestled with pride, frustration, and grief, constantly reminding himself to remain calm, just, and focused on what matters. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus embodied the ideal of a philosopher king, showing that wisdom can be lived even amidst empire and chaos. Stoic practices and tools. Stoicism isn't just theory, it's a way of life, with daily practices designed to build resilience, mindfulness, and virtue. Here are some key Stoic tools. 1. The dichotomy of control. Perhaps the most essential Stoic teaching is to divide life into two categories. What is up to us are thoughts, actions, and values. What is not, external events, other people, outcomes. Peace comes from focusing only on what you can control. 2. Negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. This involves imagining worst-case scenarios to prepare emotionally and appreciate the present. By visualizing loss, pain, or setbacks, you become less afraid and more grateful. 3. Journaling. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius use journaling to reflect on their actions, values, and emotions. Writing helps clarify thoughts and reinforce wisdom. 4. Voluntary discomfort. Seneca recommended occasional discomfort, fasting, cold baths, wearing rough clothes, to train yourself for hardship and detach from luxury. It builds mental toughness. 5. Memento mori, remember death. Far from morbid, this practice reminds you that life is short. It helps prioritize what truly matters and live fully in the moment. Stoicism in the modern world. Though born over 2 millennia ago, Stoicism has found new life in the 21st century. Its appeal lies in its clarity, practicality, and emotional intelligence. In our age of anxiety, social media, and information overload, Stoicism offers a compass. Entrepreneurs like Tim Ferriss, athletes like Tom Brady, and thinkers like Ryan Holiday have championed Stoic wisdom in books, podcasts, and TED Talks. Holiday's The Daily Stoic and The Obstacle is the Way have introduced a new generation to ancient wisdom. Stoicism also aligns with practices like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which shares its emphasis on thoughts, behavior, and rational self-examination. Criticisms and misconceptions. Despite its strengths, Stoicism isn't without criticism. Some argue that it can lead to emotional suppression or detachment. Others see it as overly individualistic, focusing more on personal virtue than systemic change. However, this often stems from misunderstanding. Stoics don't deny emotions, they seek to understand and transform them. And while Stoicism emphasizes personal responsibility, it also promotes justice, compassion, and active engagement with society. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." Stoicism calls us to be ethical citizens, not isolated ascetics. Stoicism and spirituality. Though rooted in reason, Stoicism is deeply spiritual. It speaks of the logos, a divine rational order that permeates the universe. Living in accordance with this logos means aligning with nature, truth, and inner peace. For the Stoics, God or nature is not an external deity, but the rational force within all things. This gives Stoicism a cosmic serenity, encouraging us to accept fate with grace. Amor fati, love of fate, is the Stoic ideal. It means not just enduring what happens, but embracing it as necessary, meaningful, and good. Why Stoic wisdom matters today. In a time marked by uncertainty, climate change, political division, mental health crises, Stoicism reminds us that while we can't control the world, we can control how we show up in it. It urges us to pause before reacting, let go of what we can't change, do our duty with love and justice, Find joy not in things, but in character. As Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Stoicism isn't about suppressing life. It's about living it fully, mindfully, and bravely, with eyes wide open. Conclusion. Stoic wisdom is a treasure from the ancient world that shines with relevance in the modern age. It teaches us that happiness doesn't depend on circumstances, but on character. That peace isn't found in external success, but in inner virtue. From the Emperor Marcus Aurelius to the enslaved Epictetus, Stoicism has helped people in every walk of life face hardship with grace and purpose. Today, it offers each of us the tools to build resilience, clarity, and peace, no matter what life throws our way. In the words of Epictetus, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Let Stoicism be not just a philosophy you study, but a way of being, strong, serene, and wise.